My name's Matt,
And I'm Dawn.
and we are planting a church in Bowling Green, Kentucky. I've had a love for church planting for a long time. It probably started when I interned in Colorado at a church there in Fort Collins, and just looking across a city that had very few churches. Then moved back to college and did the whole college thing, and ended up moving to Colorado and helping that same church plant there, start a youth ministry and things like that. Just really started my heart for church planting. Then we moved to North Carolina, to Bethel Church, and loved our ministry there and growth there. But we ended up moving to Texas with my old youth pastor and helping plant a church in McKinney, Texas. And we weren't there very long, but it really instilled a real heart for people, and it changed our perspective on ministry in a lot of ways. And that really got us going, because when we moved here to Woodburn, to the Bowling Green area, we were drawn to the 2020 vision of Woodburn Baptist Church, of just planting 20 churches by the year 2020. And we didn't know how we'd be part of that mission, that vision that Woodburn had. But over the course of time, we just really felt like that we were going to be a big part of that vision. So it's kind of led us to this point of planting a church here in the same county that we're in. But that looks a lot different. It's going to be multi-ethnic and beautiful, full of people from all kind of classes and backgrounds and things like that. But that's kind of the way that I got into church planting, and kind of the love that God put in my heart for that, and the calling there. But I'm going to let Dawn kind of talk to where she first started feeling that call.
Yeah, as a young kid, I guess a heart for missions was kind of, I don't know, God instilled that in me when I was really young even. And then throughout college, I was able to go on different missions trips and experience different cultures, and just drawn to some of that. And then also, obviously, we were married when we moved to Colorado and then to Texas and things. And so each one of those spots had an effect on how ministry was viewed, and church planting and all of that scope of things. We did move here partly because we were drawn to Woodburn because of their church planting vision and things. And I don't know, 3 years ago maybe, there was a guy, Sam Malinga, who is one of our church planters that's planting in Washington State. And he spoke at our church. Hadn't gone there yet, but was speaking and things. And God just kind of said, okay, it's your turn in my heart. And I just desired to be all about the gospel and to reach people the way that Sam was talking about. So that was kind of like the initial, okay, it's time for you to step up and do what I've put in your heart for a long time now.
2020 vision at Woodburn includes everywhere, but we really begin focusing on the Bowling Green area, even though people were like, man, Bowling Green has a ton of churches. But in reality, there's around 100,000 people in the Warren County area that doesn't go to church. Bowling Green is a very acceptive place for immigrants, and we, over the course of the last year and a half, we just fallen in love with immigrants in this area and their needs, and and trying to just become friends with them. And it kind of led us in different directions by church planting. We knew Warren County because of the need here, but we started focusing in on the specific areas that have a high volume or a high population of immigrants. And so we just felt really drawn to that, and because of that, we're planting in that area. And one of the things we want to do in the community that we're in is make sure that every person in that community that we're in knows that they're loved. We want to make every neighbor a disciple, and we want to send out leaders into the community and around the world that do the same. And so that's kind of what we're seeing. We found out in the community itself that the community is craving that kind of heart, that kind of church. And just by talking to people and already having conversations with people and hearing their stories, it's amazing to sense the it's not easy, but it's really easy to build relationships. This is a hard work. What we're doing is trying to blend nations. We're trying to blend languages, socioeconomic diversity, and so that's very difficult. But at the same time, it's a community that craves somebody to come alongside them, and we've already seen that just in work in the community and being involved in some of these people's lives of just the natural flow of just building relationships with people has been so encouraging, and you can see God at work in some of those specific areas. Just from this past week, one of the stories that pops out to me is a lady walked across the street to an event that we were hosting, just doing car care for people in the area, especially single moms and things. And she has 5 kids in her apartment, and none of them are hers. And her car's broke down, but she felt like she needed to walk across the street just to talk to somebody. And through conversation with her, I realized that the weight of the world is on this lady's shoulders. She's had abuse in her life, and her kids aren't taking responsibility for their kids, and so she's the grandma and for all these kids, and the mom for all these kids, and she can't get to work and things like that, and because of her cars broke down, and just so many things coming against her. We sat out there in the yard and talked, and I introduced her to Dawn, and just kind of talked through things and talked about how God fixes broken things, and even though that there's been a pattern of maybe bad decisions or bad circumstances, that God can fix this, that Jesus can walk into her life and do something about it. And so we prayed together, and we talked about coming to see her this week. And she said, sorry about the house already because it's a mess, because I just haven't been able to clean it with the 5 kids and everything going on. I was like, listen, it's okay. We just want to be able to come alongside you and help you in whatever way that we can. But more, we just realized that story after story is like this in this community, and we want to be a church that comes alongside of these folks. We met another lady that's a single mom of a 5-month-old, and she's struggling to pay rent and do what she needs to do as a mom. And she said, the simple car care stuff that we did this past week was, you just don't know how much this helped me. And so those are the kind of ministries that we want to do. We know that part of this community is full of immigrants, and the first generation immigrants, many of them don't speak English. So you got Bosnians and Somalians and Congolese and you name it, as in that community. Just a ton of languages involved, but a lot of the first generation people that have come over here don't speak English, so we want to try to provide conversational English, ESL classes, and things of that nature to come alongside them in that. Also children, a lot of the children do speak English, or they're learning at least, and so helping them integrate into society together as first generation, second generation, into a church body that is unified and acts like a family that is walking along this path of gospel transformation in their life. And so that's the kind of ministries that we're looking at being involved in, and that we're already participating in the community.
About a year and 2 months ago, we started with Curbside, which is a street ministry. It just allows kids to come and be kids and hang out and play without the worries of the world and weight and all of that stuff on their shoulders. We also give them food, a meal there, and then share the gospel with them. I made an immediate connection with a little girl named Sabrina, and don't even know exactly why. I think it was a God thing, but just immediate kind of connection, and learned that she would be moving soon, and she didn't have an address for me or anything, and so God worked it out to where one of my best friends kind of ran into them at another community event kind of thing, and was able to take them food when they moved to their new home. Supper, we met their dad and mom and the rest of their family, and just through that simple gesture, we have gone over and visited several times. They've invited us back, and just been able to serve them but then also they have served us and kind of built a relationship. There's been 2 different occasions where we have been invited to a birthday party. One just happened a few months ago. One of their daughters turned 16, and we were one of the only American families. The other American family was our best friends
that are helping us plant
the church.
Yeah.
And so we are the 2 only American families in this Bosnian celebration of 16 years, and it's a big deal for them. It's a big party, and so it's just awesome to be able to be in that community. Over the course of time, we believe that that family will come to know Christ. We're praying for that and hoping to disciple them in that way.
Our plan for the church, we are right now in pre-launch phase. That means we are doing a lot of community events and just trying to meet people and begin the process of life transformation in Jesus. And so we're just meeting people and having conversations and walking down those streets and passing out flyers and doing whatever else we can do to be part of these people's lives. The plan is to go throughout the summer with more events, meeting more people, and continue to build our launch team that will go out into that community. Right now we're looking at launching in September of this year in a large way so that we can make the biggest impact on the community and the fastest impact on the community as we can. But we need your help. Right now we have a couple of churches and a number of individuals that are sponsoring us, that are giving towards what God is doing here. Woodburn Baptist Church, which is our sending church, where I've been a youth pastor for the last 5+ years, is sending us out and doing it in a big way, and we appreciate that so much. We're also partners with Hillview Heights Church in Bowling Green, which is one of the largest churches in Bowling Green, but one of the most evangelistic churches and one of the biggest visions for Warren County. Pastor Steve Ayers is on my board as he's a board member with Journey Church, so he helps direct and make decisions for Journey Church, but they're a partner with us. We're looking for a couple more church partners as well, just to come alongside of us in prayer and financially and things like that for the next few years. Also, we're looking for individuals to give and be part of this vision for this community. So we're asking you if you would give to this cause. We're looking for people that, it may be a child that says, I can give $1 to this cause. That's part of it, and that dollar will go to reach people. But if you can give $10 a month, $20 a month, and I know some of you probably could afford $100 a month, we would greatly appreciate it, because we know that the type of church that we're building, the community that we're in, has a lot of needs, and it's one of those things where, even if we have a lot of people in church, our tithes and offerings probably won't be very high for a long time, because a lot of people aren't churched at all, and that's good, and we want to reach those folks as much as possible. But also, they're financially strained, they're immigrants, they're this and that, and it keeps them from the ability to give and to support a ministry like this. And so we want to invite you into that vision of Journey Church. So I encourage you to pray about what you will do and how you'll be a partner with us in what God is trying to do in this community. Thank you.